breaking off after they won the lag. Jani Uski.
Okay, so excuse me, so a difficult shot on the one if he wants to go offensive, but not a bad play really. He can hold the cue ball down here for position. He's got a little cover, thinking the 4 and 6 are pretty difficult, but I like Mika shooting at this. A little fortunate on the miss there.
Ma vist saan pihta taha lüüa nii, et üks läheb 6-4 taha, valge mööda sellest 5 tuleb siia taha kuhugi.
When it was the turn of the Estonians to debrief after that first round, they must realise that they were let off the hook. And it was very interesting. Rainer Lark quite openly said we will need to improve to stand any chance of going even deeper.
Yeah, well, the first way to improve is being honest with yourself, and that's what Estonia is looking to do, is just improve as they go. That was always going to be difficult, maybe a little bit fortunate. No, he's given up the 1. So the first real starter in the match. Now, interesting. He's knocked the 5 ball back down table. So even more of a problem with that 4-6 if you're considering trying to clear the table and not having your opponents back at it with a kick shot or some type of safety. Just 1 rail down for the 3. Wow, I wonder why they entertained messing with the 4 and the 6 there. I don't think it really caused the miss, but certainly could have caused other problems.
Nojah, natukene. Sul on nurka küll. 15 sekundit. Töö sisse lihtsalt.
Okay, keeping it simple there on the 1. When you're going to play the safety, of course, distance does matter on accuracy, but a lot of times doesn't affect much, and this looks pretty natural to bank the 3 back towards the 9, trying to go underneath the 8.
Dennis, come on. Yes. Dennis. Could you restart the clock, please? Thank you.
I do believe he does have a piece of the 3. Maybe he can pocket the 3. Yes, he can. And in his heyday, these were usually getting buried by Mika Immonen. Came up off the shot a little bit, so he's going to have to recognize that and stay a little more still.
21 years ago now, Immonen won the World 9-Ball Championship and almost completed the World and US Open double, lost in the final of the US Open that year to Corey Jewell. He's been at or near the top of the game ever since.
Oh, nice shot there after an early miss on the 1 ball, and that should settle Uski a little bit. Yeah, Mika was one of the few, similar to Filler, that would just take over matches and eventually take over tournaments. And I was there for that World. Again, I see the rails a little bit lively. And I was there for that World 9-Ball Championship, and he just kind of robbed the event. Almost seemed unfair. So the cue ball wouldn't settle. Now a little awkward cueing over the 9, a little flat on the 8. Wow, what a shot. And what that is a little management, not only coming with a great shot, but not trying to get everything out of it.
Not clean, but it's the first strike. They say, don't they, it's not how you start, but how you finish. Well, these two Finnish players have started well. If Immonen makes the final of this tournament, he will have done so with 3 different partners. Markus Juva in the early days, Petri Mäkinen, maybe Jani Uski. He looks youthful, Uski, but he's actually 32 years of age. He's been around a while, got quite a good amount of experience. That wasn't a good contact on the 9. It was just about good enough.
Well, we saw a little tremor there in the first game when the camera panned in on Uski, and so dealing with a little bit of nerves, but that's okay.
In that first round against Austria, everything went against Max Lechner and Albin Auschen, but nevertheless the Finns deserved plenty of praise for winning 7-1. These are the Estonians, Reino Laar, and he's a more well-known player on the international scene. Well-known partner, I should say.
The second rack, Finland to break, leading 1-0.
One got a kiss there. It may have been covered up by the 2 anyways, but tell you what, close to a kiss shot on the purple 5 right here. Only problem is, I think you have to hit the 1 somewhat thick. May lose the 1 back down table, but the 2's over the side, and he's got one of the greatest pocketer of the ball. And 9-ball pool maybe ever, that Mika Immonen shooting behind him, so we'll see. I think he's probably going with the safety, but you never know. Well, maybe not. He's putting a little left English, so that tells me maybe the kiss shot on the 5. And I don't like the kiss shot if I had to hit it with like a stun draw maybe, but I thought he could kind of follow the ball making it, but
ei no põrget jaa, ikka põrget, aga ma mõtlen, kuidas ma välja toon. Extension.
Siit ei saa tuua. Isegi siit kannatab lüüade peal.
That 5-ball, very good example of our 4-inch pockets tightening up. Well, he's got to attack here, whether it's the cut or the bank, which I think it'll be the bank shot. I don't know if he was trying to draw into the 8. That would make sense, I guess, but the 9 right there, so I'm not sure what the play with the cue ball was there for Dennis. I guess he was trying to draw into the 8. Otherwise, he's got to know the cue ball's going up table and really no great shot on the 2. But if Laar was to bury this, it would go a long ways, confidence-wise.
Now look.
And that's the definition of buried. In without touching the sides. Encouraging early sign, that. But Jeremy, that was discouraging. Apart from the fact it was missed, technically there was lots to criticize there. He was very jerky. The shoulder came into the shot in maximum fashion.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get a little thick or a little quick, excuse me. The elbow tends to drop, shoulder gets involved in the shot. Normally contact on the object ball, not what you want. And kind of similar to what we saw at the end of the match in round 1 from Dennis, to where kind of broke down on some shots and was very fortunate to get by Serbia.
Pehmeä liirutus vaan. Sojo.
As far as Meek is concerned, he's had some great results this year. We all know about the position he was in at the World 9-Ball Championships with that incredible comeback from SPB. But talked to Mika at the World Full Masters about his game, and he just says he needs to commit on every shot, sometimes taking the easy ones for granted.
In December, just after the Mosconi Cup, actually, he turns 50 years of age, but he's still a force to be reckoned with. As for Dennis Grabber, a 3-time Euro Tour winner, he will hate that errant 3-ball. And it was left to Immonen, known as the Iceman, to knock in the 9. And even in these sweltering temperatures, Pool's Iceman doesn't melt. I noticed on the shirts of both of the Finnish players, one of the logos is Town. Now that's a new chalk which is revolutionising snooker, let me tell you. A brittle kind of chalk, which most of the pros are now using. And it's almost completely eliminated kicks and inconsistent bounce off the cushions. The players who do use it, and as I say, they're in the majority, swear by it. It really has revolutionised playing conditions and made things a lot better, a lot less frustrating.
Thank you, the third rack. Team Finland to break. Leading the match 2-0.
That's more of the break they want. Tracking the 1. Cue ball's clear. A little thin on the 2, so we'll see, but probably attacks here with the cue ball going into the 3 a bit.
Mitäs tästä? 3 nakki vai? Saaksit sä verran pehmeä? Alsalla, ilman omaa.
I mean, there is some risk here. If he catches the back of the 3, could scratch, but I think he's got to go.
Melkein sen nakin otan. Joo.
I think just a straight high ball, and this is the type of shot, of course, you don't want to put a ton of speed. He's going to drag into it, trying to slow the cue ball down. That's the, oh, he caught behind it, but just thin enough. No love here, though. Ended up behind the pink 4.
Ybar. Tässä ajoituskohdalla. Extension.
Extension, please.
Really kind of fortunate not to scratch, a little unfortunate not to come away with more of a shot.
Uski jumps to it. You like that one?
Shot here. And it's going to maybe end up behind the net. Yeah, I thought he may ease it in and just try and get to the cut shot on the purple 5, even though it was going to be difficult. Took a little chance and it didn't work out.
4 tänne tästä, mutta valkoinen menee ensin. Päätyy valkoinen.
Jeremy, the jump. Not exactly an option here.
Well, he's got a sliver of the purple, so he's trying to use the 7 off of 2 cushions, getting the cue ball to the top rail. He's got it. Oh, okay. This is going to leave a tester, and that's really about all they had. Good, smart decision here from Finland, especially with a 2-0 lead. A lot of pressure on Estonia.
Yes, and remembering that
Extension called.
Dennis Grabber missed the 3 ball. Much easier than this to the same pocket in rack 2.
And I'll tell you, I may not even play this, Phil. I may overcut the 4 to the bottom rail, letting it just roam up the table and just slowly coast behind the 9. Kind of, in theory, make the other team come with it as well. On the other hand, if Dennis can bury this big shot right here, it may get him going.
The 9 ball, what it's all about, causing issues now for Estonia with the kiss there.
15 sekundit.
Yeah, and on the slick table, I don't think you can really tighten this bank up. He's got to play safe. So we'll see what Finland's left with. Oh, this is going to be a little much. Cue ball not on the rail either. Now the 6 did get near the cushion. That helps. Now this is all about how you're feeling here. Mika, back in his heyday, he could edge the balls almost as well as anybody. Maybe Earl and SVB, only better. Yeah, it's not going to work.
Nurkka või keskele?
That kind of shot requires technique, nerve, and
Nurkka vist.
youthful eyesight, maybe.
No pane keskele siia.
Minu löök on jah.
Mida?
Mina
Mina
löök.
lõin just siit.
And he can draw his ball out of this if he wants. He can follow up the left side of the table. Little preference, especially when you're close to your work.
Team Estonia wins the first.
Perseverance. It is officially the warmest day of the year in the UK so far. Indoors, particularly toasty. And the pool has been equally hot. Okay, the quality on occasions hasn't been quite what we've seen in previous days, but boy, the drama has been off the scale.
Well, you can't ask for much more than this to tie this ball game at 2 apiece. Great starter on the 1. Definitely some work. The 2's a hair covered up. He's definitely got a shot, but it's hard to get the right angle or much angle in a secure manner to get over for the 3. So. I think what they're discussing is if he goes forward, is he catching the 6 at all? As long as he smooths it, he should be okay. Actually gained just about as much angle as he could with the 8 being there. And it's just going to have to put a good stroke on this ball drawn by the 8 back towards the center.
Extension.
Extension, please.
A little bit of a let up.
When we were away at the commercial break, I was watching Grabber at the table. He was walking up and down, shaking his right arm, trying to bring the pressure out of it, but it doesn't work that way. And you could see there he is full of pressure. He's as tight as anything.
We can choose either player.
Yeah, you haven't played it. Yeah.
Yeah, again, another edging, edge of the ball here on the 3. Now, after making the mistake on the edging last time, he may choose another shot, but making oh, he got the kiss. And that's a little bit of that mistake from prior, because really the correct shot there was to edge that 3 ball, run it a couple rails around behind the 7 and the 4. But after failing to do so in rack number 3, he elected to shoot another shot and has given up something.
Oh, the wages of sin. There was an awful lot of movement again from Dennis Grabber, and look where the cue ball has come to rest. Undeservedly.
Yeah, you get a little, he's got a little bit of a quick tempo anyways, which is kind of abnormal for the bigger guys in pool. Usually they have a little bit more of the smoother tempos. Dennis, who I believe his parents owned a pool room, or his family, and started at a very young age. Oh, nice shot. Nice shot.
Yeah, always fancied him to make the 3 cushion first. It was just the case of what about position attached, and it's not really worked out.
I was going to say, I think Mika shoots at this ball, really.
Into a blind pocket, Jeremy. Tell us, that was a really good effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's just instincts. And if Mika settles in, I think Uski's settling in nicely, to be honest with you. I think Mika settles in a little more. This team could take off on Estonia a bit.
Finland wins the rack.
In the World Cup of Pool, never underestimate Finland. In the second edition of this event, they were runners-up, lost, in fact, in a deciding rack finish to China, Li He-wen and Fujian Bo. And they've also captured the title. That was 10 years ago in Manila, the Philippines, where they overcame Poland in the final. That was Mika Immonen and Petri Mäkinen. This rack, again, it's underlined for me, Jeremy, one thing. The Finns are here to play. And Dennis Grubber, who is a fine player, and I've seen him produce some really good pool over the years, he is patently struggling.
Yeah, no. I wonder for Dennis if it's something like he's putting pressure on himself, and here we have a lot of stats from years past.
You know, just mentioning Finland winning 10 years ago, and I think the key to that was, yes, Mika Immonen played very well indeed, but he also received an awful lot of able support from Petri Mäkinen, who I recall 10 years on broke really well over there in Manila, and that was a big part, a big key to their victory. And they were very unlucky also to lose all those years back in 2007
Thank you,
in the deciding rack to
Finland
China.
to break, leading 3-1.
Okay, cross the one over a little bit. This may develop though. No, the 9's going to stay in the way. So it may roll out to a jump here, it may roll out. I'm not sure where. This is difficult now. They do have a struggling Team Estonia, and what I was getting at before the break shot here for Mika is if Dennis is putting a little too much heat on himself to get his partner a little too good on shots, maybe. Sometimes you got to forget about that and just play it how you would play it. And it's going to make sense. Dennis is a smart player.
Se onkin vähän kiikkerämpi kysymys.
I think one of the worrying aspects for Estonia here is that you could never possibly say Finland has had a good run. They've had an unfavourable run so far, and yet they're 3-1 ahead.
Yeah, good point. I may tie the 2 up here. Can he see the 2? Can he roll something onto the 6 here? That would be a nice play. It's gotta go. It's gotta go.
Ihan jaksanut.
Anything can happen in the cauldron of pressure that is the World Cup of Pool. We saw a very embarrassingly poor attempted to lag by Morocco in the first round. Sometimes even a push-out is misplayed.
Yeah, and I wonder why he decided to play the drag stroke for the push-out. A lot of guys do that when they're only pushing it 5, 6, 7 inches, but when you can bounce off the rail, like Finland could, and I kind of always felt like he was going to overhit that. I think Dennis can do, you know, we don't have caddies out there. They do have a partner in this regard, but when you're talking about fundamental, you can just say to yourself, let me make sure I hold the elbow in place, which is what's going wrong with him here.
Extension call.
It's breaking down a little early.
Smooth and sophisticated.
Yes.
Yeah, how well was that hit? Not even to get a rail with the cue ball, holding the cue ball up. I was a little worried about what he was doing there with the cue ball, but he hit it perfectly. Okay, a bit of an overrun here, so he's close to it. Even though it's awfully thin, he may be able to kill the cue ball still, cutting the 5 in the side.
Sina lööd.
Meil pikendus on või?
Ei, on küll jah, extension.
Extension, please.
Niin tietysti se pomppaa.
Ei, no se ei lähe vist.
Sinna jah, on ülema pihta. Nüüd viidida sealt või kas siit proovida? Ma proovin teda ikka suht täpselt tabada.
Aga proovisid
sisse või ta musta taha.
Aga äkki proovisid tagant lüüa talle pihta, vaata, kui sa lööd talle siia, siis valge peaks siit vahet minema sinna taha ja 4 tuleb siit tagasi siia. Saad aru, kui sa lööd siit vahet talle pihta.
Vahele talle või?
Jah. Ära vaikselt löö.
Just telling him to try and get up behind this 5 ball. Maybe the cue ball will continue down as the 5 banks up between the 8 and 6. I think that's somewhat what they were talking about. Did get a little separation, so Uski's going to have to put a little into this cue ball.
Mida? Tugevamini oleks nüüd lüüa.
No kus oleks nurka jõud või?
Tremendous camera work there, giving us an impression of just how straight the cue action was of Uski. The elbow never deviated. Now that's something that grabber needs to do. Keeping still on the shot is so crucial.
Well, there's some players that just don't want to think about fundamentals in a match, but when you're struggling, if you have a clue on what the mechanics is doing, you have a chance to repair it. So I always like the guy that's a little mindful of what's going on, both good and bad.
As he was developing as a snooker player, the great Steve Davis, 6 times world champion, used to stand and get down on shots for hours on end, and his father Bill held a cue over his head. And every time his head touched the cue, they'd play the shot again and again until he didn't move. That worked out well.
Team Finland against the right.
And that 9 ball worked out well. Finland looking good here. You cannot say the same, I'm afraid, for Team Estonia, who are going through the ringer right now. Finland lead 4-1.
Joko vetää vähän sojompaa tai sitten vähän enemmän leikkuuta noihin kasiin. No siihen piti jäädä enemmän leikkuuta siellä.
They have fought back before though, Estonia. Against Serbia, let's not forget they were 3-0 and 4-2 down. Eventually got the verdict. So that was the latest mistake, and from there Finland ran out.
Yeah, and I really can't remember the last time Lar really shot at an open pocket. Dennis has taken on most of the shots and Long wants to start racks, and it just hasn't been his day so far here. This is the second round of the World Cup.
And this pairing, you have to remember, they're up against an animal in Mika Immonen, a back-to-back US Open champion, 2008 and 2009. And in that second year, after an early loss, he won 14 straight matches. It was a display of skill and stamina.
Finland to break.
Yeah, I was there watching that first loss. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was an 11-10 loss to Chris Bartram, a great player from Ohio. Okay, this is settling up nice. Nice little angle. Plenty of room to swing the cue ball 2 to 3 rails between the 6 and the 4 and down for a 2-7 combination. So this lead should lengthen here, Phil.
The 30-second shot clock never been a hindrance for Mika Immonen, who sees the shots so quickly and instinctively.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, at times that may be that what gets the best of him is he'll get down on the shot a bit quick at times. It's what we discussed. I believe it was the Whirlpool Masters. And he's overran this mark, so he's going to have to make a little decision here. I don't know if he can hold the ball. If he can't hold it, he's going to have to draw by the 8. I don't think he can go 3 rails around him. Watch out, he may contact the 8 here. Oh no, nice stroke there. This kid's settling in. Little let up. That's why it kind of bounced off the ball, almost got into the 9, but
No siitäkin ollaan, jos sä pääst siihen samaan paikkaan. Anna mä katon tän. Tosta, näet sä missä on nää aloituksen jäljet? Jos sä pääset siihen linjaan, niin se on sitten ollut.
in other words, I got
Siihen
this.
tai yli.
Don't think you have to pound this across table for the 8. I can handle a little cut shot. That's what Mika's telling him. Maybe going across anyways. All right, kind of got in the 50 here.
Meillä extension käytetty.
What do you do here? Cut it in and go 4 rails, 3 rails to the left side pocket. Certainly doesn't want to float it with the stretch, I don't think anyways. He may though. Well, it's got to slow down a little bit. It's got to slow down a lot a bit.
On treenattu. Sekuntia.
I was going to say, I may cut this in the side just because it could leave a tough shot if missed and Estonia struggling. Smart play. I know he wanted the make, but you have to consider with the team that you're playing, how they're playing, and what the scoreline is.
Olisi pitää vetää pystäriin.
Yeah, and if you're going to miss, hitting the near jaw is definitely the better way rather than hitting the far jaw and having the 9 ball potentially come back towards the cue ball.
Laiali, siis nad löövad otse põrke keskele.
Interesting here that Laura was assuming position.
Estonia
hasn't shot in this rack yet, so they do have a choice.
They ask me what it's for. Okay. Not in the arena. Not the arena. Can you? Oh, right, okay. Yeah. So you feel, make yourself refreshed. Yeah.
When you play in tennis, much
No,
more.
the back one is too. It's hot there. Yeah, it's nothing. Yeah, hot there. Yeah, inside there. Yeah. So I mean, it's not hot, but it's not cold. No, it's just warm here.
Diane.
Let's go now. Tagasamine on ilmselt.
Niin, sit sinua vaan kuuletaan mitään.
Se oli
Tämä se extension, jolla on esimene. Tässä on kahden freemin puskuri.
Mul enam emmist on meeles, et Piit, ma panin endale kirja enne üleval.
Hän toivovat siis. Näistä on suht pian. Tää on kuitenkin vähän peliä teillä. Et sanottais.
Aika oli. Mitä? Aika oli.
Ei se ole. Eikä se ole niistäkin.
Oot, aika on vielä.
Ja.
Tätä nikunii kun on alustanut.
Sa panid kedagi ära.
Team Finland
Thank you,
have
the
support
seventh
here
Estonia
in
to break.
Brentwood.
Trailing 4-2.
Okay, the last rack was a setback for the supporters, but generally speaking, they must be happy with the fact that the Finland team lead 4-2 against Estonia, who were breaking off in rack 7.
Face off.
Well, how about that? I thought the 4-ball was going to stop in time, but it was a little rude at the end there.
Yeah, and wouldn't it be nice to be ambidextrous here? This is pretty much a cold-blooded hanger jump shot with the 3 there. Pretty easy position on the 2, and you maybe go for the swerve. The swerve kind of puts him on top of the 8, though, maybe. I don't know, because from that distance, you wouldn't think he could hit the swerve with much speed.
Hüppega siia panna.
Yeah, he doesn't even want to roll out to the jump, really. I mean, can't push the 2 to the bottom rail with a jump in mind. This is super tough. He's just going to probably have to roll out to where they're going to get snookered in some manner, but he's going to go for the swerve shot. Could get a hook here with the 3 there and the 8. He made a great shot. Now again, Lahr hasn't pulled the trigger of an offensive shot in maybe 5 games, something like that. He's had a few kicks, a couple safeties, but nothing like this.
All things considered, well done.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a little movement there, a little hair across the ball, but nothing too terrible. And the one thing I like is he pulled the trigger. I mean, went ahead and excel through impact. Uh-oh.
No järjestus.
Yeah, and you didn't really see a whole lot wrong with the stroke, really. I kind of feel like maybe a lack of experience, understanding how easy the ball's cut out there, plus you can use a little of the side rail at those angles. Makes the shot easier. Mika's just got to not worry about things here. He's just got to come up to the left rail and let his partner pocket a long 6-ball. Yeah,
you might have seen there the pot success rate of Estonia so far, Jeremy, 75%. Forget it if it stays that way.
Yeah, I wouldn't go overboard here. Yeah, I don't know about this. May end up really nice, but could end up awkward. And again, he could have got by the head string just a little bit on the left side, our left side of the 8, and let his partner just bury a little bit of a shot on the 6 with the 7 hanging. Don't really understand that.
20 sekuntia. Ei ole extension.
We all like the short shot. I mean, nothing wrong with trying to get a short shot, but if it just doesn't make sense. And again, Uski's shown that he can keep coming with the shots. They're okay here, just a little left English to avoid the scratch. That way you can hit the 7 just a shade thicker. This is going to get straight and funny, Phil. Out of the woods.
Sack.
Did he fluke it?
Does this remind you of anything, Jeremy? I think it does. You know, the way Serbia began to waste opportunities against Estonia in a position of strength in the previous round.
Yeah, and Uski will tell you, you know, he shouldn't have missed that ball, but that all started with the pink really getting Uski out of line on the 6, which he had to make a nice recovery shot to get anything on the 7 for Mika, and from there things just started to mount.
In another world, another time, this could have been 6-1 easily to Finland. In reality, it's 4-3, and Estonia, without being convincing in any way, shape or form, are still very much in the shake-up.
Well, I know we'll get our stats here before too long, but we'll see the last couple of shots. Yeah, this was the start of the mistake to me. But I'm interested when the stats are shown. How many balls has Estonia pocketed to get 3 games on the board? I know it was an 8 and 9. It was a cut-in 9 ball by Dennis Gravy.
Yeah, they've been predatory, haven't they? They've not hit the front and just won racks in a dominant fashion. Far from it. Well, here, I can tell you, it's 17 balls spotted by Estonia so far. In all of the racks combined, 46 from Finland, and yet all they've got to show for it is a single rack advantage. And there are so many similarities between this match and the Serbia contest that Estonia just about won in the previous round.
Thank you, the 8th rack. Estonia to break. Trailing 4-3.
Well, one thing for Finland is I think Uski has played really well. Hopefully that 8-ball miss right there doesn't lead towards more mistakes. And I think Mika's played well also, just maybe a little mental error there. You got to trust that partner, especially recognizing he's playing well. And you know what happens after a big mistake, Phil?
Doesn't always happen. It's not a fail-safe, but so often it does.
vaata, et see 6 pihta ei lähe.
The team wins a rack they shouldn't. Feels a release. Breaks off, and then they get a nice run out. Present itself.
Oota korra. Kuidas seda lüüa seda? Anna vindiga sealt
Yeah,
läbi.
we'll pass this shot here.
Tõmbab selle 2 sisse. Ei no vahet ei ole,
To
isegi läheb
speak
pool
too early, but it should be a tied ball game. And
Ei taha.
you know the pressure goes solely to Finland now.
Ei no alla vasakul ta tõmbab kohe siiapoole, on parem ja tõmbab 2 sisse. No kas ta läheb pool kuuli või tuleb siit siia?
I'm not sure what all the discussion is. This is just simply throw the ball in a little bit, come to the top of the 3, the 4's in the air.
No,
There's a lot of speed on that, though, and maybe he's going to get over the 9. Wow, I thought they could have killed that ball much closer to the 3.
Extension, please.
Definitely one you could bobble here.
Lähemale ei taha mulle tuua.
Kuhu kohta siis?
Mida alla vindiga tagasi keskele või? Ei taha või? Vaata ise.
Looks like just draw to the side rail and back out. I got a little much angle. This may have to go in the side pocket now.
Not clean, but in. And hard to imagine this 9 ball will go astray.
Estonia wins the rack.
From 4-1 down, Estonia are now on level terms. Finland have given away the advantage here, big style. Estonia, as they did in the first round, refusing to allow their opponents to pull away, purely and simply because their opponents are making mistakes. Although there was no mistake there, that was a break in run out. Nothing at all the Finns could do about rack 8. Jeremy, it's a funny old match.
Yeah, very much so. And our early sessions showed a lot of high quality, a lot of pressure shots, and we've opened tonight's session with a little bit more mistakes, but you figure somebody to clean it up here at the end of this match, play some good pool to win.
Okay. The 9th rack. The current score is 4 racks each. Estonia to break.
Estonian, so not just this year, last year they've got this uncanny knack of finding a way of winning without looking particularly stylish.
Oh, no corner ball there, and that was, in my opinion, on the border of a little light.
You've got to break harder than that.
On the break.
Your break wasn't forceful enough. You've got to break harder than that.
Yeah, I think he may have gotten warned for that as well.
Yeah, I think quite correctly, Marcel Eckhart saying that's not good enough, or more accurate, not hard enough.
Yeah, the players will get a warning in that regard.
Ma ei tea, ma veereta vastu 5.
Midagi kinni ei saa panna.
Yeah, there's no sanction in the rack in which the perceived light break has occurred, but of course if it happens again, it's different.
Extension, please.
No mis variandid veel on? Vastu
Yeah, he's almost got to roll out, obviously, to a kick shot. He could roll out behind the 8 to the jump shot on the 2, I guess. I may roll out, just bump the 3 up on the 6, trying to lengthen the game. And well, you can't let him see an edge of this now. That would be a mistake, in my opinion.
Team Finland,
Wow.
good choice.
I don't think they're going to get this back, whether Finland kicks at the 2, edges the 2, I'm not sure what, but they're not going to get this back, I don't think.
Estonia punished by the push out, which, as Jeremy said, didn't seem entirely logical.
10 sekundit. Pane kõvasti alla.
He's got a dig on this. Wow, overswerved it.
Illegal contact. Ball in it. And please stop it.
Ütlema, et pane kõvasti alla vist.
2/3 of the way to the ball, you thought contact would be made, and then all of a sudden it swerved away from the 2. And now the whole rack is transformed.
I mean, he's got to go by the 9. So just make sure he doesn't overhit this and get too much angle on the 3. You'd really like to be nice and straight.
Keeravad untsusid, ma arvan.
Noh, stoppari.
I don't know if he can draw back behind the 6. Or if he'll just go forward a little bit. Doesn't want to leave too much angle and involve the 9 ball on the next shot. Okay, he's going to draw around the 9 a few rails, I think, to get for the 5 in the side. He's just going to go 1 rail at it for the corner. That's kind of what I like, if you're comfortable with it. It just naturally wants to go 1 rail right towards the 5. Or you can come 3 rails around the 9.
No, võtame kesk.
Looks like he's going around the 9. Catching the 3rd rail. Nice little bounce.
Hippase help. Stoppari. Missä on hyvä leikkuu?
Ovat sama kohta. Tai ihan vähän.
Joo. No, se jäi vähän suoremmaksi.
Can still stun across pretty easily.
The vociferous applause was just a little premature there. This isn't ideal. But it's Mika Immonen we're talking about. He knocks in the 9. literally, Estonia have been thrown a curveball. There it was hitting the 2, but then it got traction and moved away. No contact made for Reina Lahr out of that hook. And from there, Finland dished the table to regain the lead at 5-4. That's how we stand at the moment. Immonen and Uski needing a couple more racks to make the quarterfinals.
Wow, a try break from nowhere, and I think only the second, maybe the third of the day. I think the Coe brothers had one to open the match and open our day here on this warm Friday.
Yeah, I think, Jeremy, your memory is correct. I think these dry breaks have been such a rarity. What a time for it to befall the Finns.
Yeah, going into the 9.
A total of 21 dry breaks in the tournament, but they've dried up, if you pardon the pun, today.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the angle on what this cue ball is doing as far as the 9 ball is concerned. And you figure this is a tough pot on the side coming off the end rail.
No.
Could put him behind the 7 pretty easily. But how you feeling, Mr. Lahr?
Välja jäi või?
Ma tahtsin talle vastu kui lüüa.
Sain aru, jaa, aga ta läks täpselt mööda tegelikult.
Ei, nad läks küll, jah. Automaatselt võtsin natukene rohkem.
Maski avaa, pelet sä pehmeällä.
He was going for the safety, got away from him.
8 ja 4, tosi pehmeällä.
Looks like he could just drag the cue ball over behind the pink 4. And the 2 should just come up about the middle diamond. Trying to use the 4 and the 8. Be a bonus if you nestled behind the black and yellow 9 ball. And to be honest with you, with the choice there, I'm surprised that Mika didn't take that shot instead of his partner. Not saying Uski shouldn't have gotten there, but it's a little bit of a touch shot, and Mika's always had such a great touch.
Yeah, and that was indisputably tentative.
Yeah, and indisputably important as well. All right, Mika wants the 2-rail kick at this 2 ball. Marcel's going to have to be on top of this and tell you got to give it time for the 2nd rail to take the English. Otherwise, he'll go into the 5. Yeah, just like that.
Illegal contact following it.
Jeremy knew beforehand.
And start the clock, please.
Ma jätan sulle.
I was saying earlier, Estonia somehow in this tournament find a way. Look at last year at Milton Keynes. They beat Belgium 7-5, Great Britain A 7-6, Philippines 7-6. In every match, certainly against GB and Philippines, massive underdogs. And then they ran Germany to 9-7 in the semi-finals. Reina Lahr wasn't involved then, but Dennis Grabber was. Alongside Mark Maggi, but oh, Reina, what have you done?
Come on, baby. Se on sun vuoro. Tule pää alhaalla vaan. Suora takakäsi. Kaikki hyvin.
Well, obviously history and also this week tells us they're fighters, but at this level, you know what those kind of mistakes do. You can want it all you want, but you can't afford those kind of misses. Nice clean there, Phil.
It was indeed the pot and the delivery of the cue as well.
Yeah, I'm super impressed by this young man. I know he's does have a bit of a baby face, so I say kid or young man, 32 years old, I think you.
That's correct. I did doubt it when I saw it, but apparently it's true. And he was a semi-finalist this year in the European 9-ball championship in Slovenia.
Well, he's got to make another nice one here. Position's natural, coming 2 rails back and forth with the 7 in the side. And that's another reason why Mika needs to remind himself how great of a partner he has. Earlier in this, I thought a big mental error, and if Finland goes on, I think maybe he could be reminded that Uski can handle it.
Finland wins the rack.
Not dissimilar to the crucial 8-ball that Torsten Homan, another former world 9-ball champion, missed this afternoon, crucially against the Netherlands. Mika Immonen doesn't miss it, but Rainer Lahr did miss the 4-ball. He's feeling not too clever right now, and that's because after Estonia clawed back, I think is more accurate, from 4-1 down to 4-4, it's Finland who arrive on the hill at 6-4, and that is the 4 that got away. Didn't leave an easy pot. Uski made it look so. That was a cracker.
Yeah, just like the 4 that Lahr missed up in the top right corner, if you're looking at your screen. Didn't really see a whole lot wrong. Here we have the draw.
Yeah, so Singapore squeezing through this afternoon, 7-6 against Kuwait. And they now await the winner of this match. As for our next match, Switzerland against Hungary, their reward, whoever wins that, is a match against the USA. Skylar Woodward and Shane Van Boning, the highest seeds remaining in the event now, of course, with the departure this afternoon of the top seeds and defending champions, Germany.
Thank you to you,
Talking of the Americans, there they are.
Finland is breaking on the hill, leading by 6 racks to 4.
So Finland 1 rack away from becoming the first unseeded team into the quarterfinals.
I think they're going to love this. A little bit of work getting from the 4 to the 5. A hair off angle on the 2, but he's so close to it. Got to figure he can manage the cue ball easily.
Nyt saa olla pehmeä.
Yeah, and this is touchy. You can't afford the angle on the 4 where you're going into those 3 balls, the 6, 7, 9. So he's got to hit a sweet one here to keep the angle on the 4 to make things easy. I'll tell you, this kid has all the shots. That wasn't easy, a soft draw like that.
on sun lempilyönti, eikö se ole? Et se suoraan pystyy vaan sitä tosi hiljaisen. Niin, extension.
Extension called.
Much more of a cut than desired here on this 5, Phil. He may go up and down, what I would do. Could hit a subtle one with inside, but it's got to go a bit. This is going to leave underneath the 6 and tracking kind of to no man's land.
Sä tuut tonne keskelle päälle.
Oh, he's elevating, so he's trying to get 2 or 3 rails by the side pocket there. Wow.
Something of an expansive shot, I think it's fair to say, Jeremy.
Well, again, if I could tell Mika any one thing is, hey,
Extension called.
rely on your partner a little bit. Cut that 6 in, go above the side right there. Let him take a little longer shot on the 7. The 9 was probably going to be okay. And really, to be honest with you, where was he going with position anyways? This could have turned out a little better for Estonia. Great shot there, cutting the 6 in. I think the percentage play coming back into the 7 and 9. But like I said, nothing easy.
Kymmenen sekundit.
We can level out. That's a nice way to shoot this. And that's going to be a little thick.
Neil on hullu seifi ja.
Ei, ma jah. Pigem võtsin teda paksult, mitte sa ikka üle jätad augu pärast.
Pigem löö sisse lihtsalt.
Ei, ma seda hakkasingi jah. Ma ta üle lõigatud.
Mennäänkö ylöspäin vai pidäänkö tasapoka? Tasapoka vaan.
Look at the missed pots in this match. 13 between the two teams. Switzerland and Japan in round 1. The two teams missed 1 pot.
I think cue ball is going to get lost on the left side, it looks like. And this match is going to continue.
Siis no,
Please stop.
semmoinen forssi, että sä saa jäädä ysintääksä maskiinkin ja se menee. Siis perus.
It's remarkable. It really is.
Team Estonia.
From the scratch,
Winston.
ball in hand. There's no way those two balls were going to be missed, even though the Estonians have been guilty of plenty of misses in this match. Their dream simply refuses to die. Not being too critical, just truthful. To get here, to get only 6-5 behind, it has been a case of smoke and mirrors. They've not played well, they haven't played well at all, but yet they're still in it, and of course they get to break off in rack 12. Anything can happen when you break off. A couple of break and run outs and bingo, you're in the next round. So is the missed bank. The scratch compounded it, and from there it was just a case of routine stuff. 7, then 9, easy peasy. I think I'm right, aren't I, Joe? That's smoke and mirrors up to this stage.
Yeah, that's fair. And another game on their side with, I think they only pocketed 3 balls in that game. That would be the cut shot on the 6.
Rack 12.
And then the
Estonia
7 and
break.
9 after
Trailing
that
by
scratch
6
from
racks to
Finland.
5.
Okay. Well, the pink's going to cover up the 2, and
Muidugi.
the don't think, you know, Lars should be experienced enough on this kick shot. It's not too tough to get to the two to the back rail, excuse me. Coming behind the pink, but we'll see. Very difficult rollout, like always.
pigem teeks push out'i ja siis lööks kicki.
The three's sitting in a great position to just kick with a high ball, maybe a hair right. Kick and knock the two to the right long rail and then back down there by the 5. I think if they rolled out to the kick, I don't know if they'd get it back. Is he rolling out to the top edge of the 2 there? It's not bad.
Siis saab pärast üle lõigata teda. Üle lõigata teda. Ja valge siit siia taha tuua. Extension.
Extension called.
Ei taha. No mis selle kikiga on ka nagu ta on?
Näitab ka siit. Ära ei meeldi seda jäkku.
Okei, aga kui sa siia paned, siit on parem kikki lüüa ju. Push out.
Push out called.
Pane siia siis. Sa võid isegi ta veits välja... Nojah.
Team Finland.
Oh, wow. He put a lot into that. He gave him a lot of the ball here.
Liiga palju lõid, aga okei.
I think anyways.
The second push out of the match. Finland won't mind.
I don't think so. They'll mind it anyways. Now he's got to play a little touch here. But I think he can get the 2 up table, go back into the pink maybe, use the 3. Yeah, like that. And it could have been more devastating, so Estonia escapes a little bit.
Läbi 5 nurka või?
Läheb ka.
Ja ma ei tea, midagi väga teha ei ole, aeg ka jookseb. Üritan valge tagasi tuua.
Few options here. Could bank the 2 down the table, trying to bring the cue ball to the side rail, let the 2 just go over the head spot. Yeah, that was always going to be pushing it. Now he's looking to get behind the 9. It's going to give an opening. And we'll see if Uski can bury another big shot.
In between racks, I was saying smoke, and there is. Has the smoke cleared, revealing a path to victory for Finland. There's the smoke. Estonia are leading a charmed life.
Good, clean living is what we say in America. Oh, no. It's been the overcut for Lar this entire match. 2 of them on the 4 ball, now a crucial one on the blue 2.
Finland haven't been brilliant. They have been better, but will it count for anything?
Yeah, the first half of the match, the games they won, they were super solid, I thought, on the runouts, but then they gave some games away. And another thing they say in America, when you're greased, you will slide, Phil. That's kind of what happened to Finland a bit during the middle and the latter part of this match.
Yes, in terms of standard of performance, it's a downgrade from their 7-1 win over Austria, first time out. But the result looks highly likely to be exactly the same.
Yeah. Vera, miten toi? Thanks. Oh, sorry.
And the big man, the double US Open champion of yesteryear and the former world 9-ball champion, knocks in the 9-ball. It wasn't impressive, but they will be delighted with the outcome. That's the main thing, getting the W and getting into the quarterfinals, the first unseeded team to go through. Estonia surely can have no complaints.